What's up, everybody? I'm not sure if you know who I am or not, but my name is Anthony Vella, and I want to tell you my story, the story that changed my life. And the reason I want to tell you this is because I want it to help to change your life. I know that what I have to share with you today can actually help to change your life. And so what I want to talk about is something that happened to me a while back. And I went to my doctor, and I was sick and tired, and I just felt down and lethargic, and I had no energy, and I felt bad, and I was like gaining weight, and I was constantly just gaining weight, gaining fat, and I just didn't feel good at all. And so I went to my doctor, and I told him what was going on. I told him I didn't feel good. I told him all these things, and so he checked my blood, he checked all my everything, did all the tests, all that stuff. And so I was sitting in the waiting room waiting for him to come out, to see what he was going to tell me to actually do. And, I was expecting him to tell me put me on some kind of calorie restrictive diet. Maybe that helped me lose weight by, cutting calories or something like that. Maybe some exercise program, maybe get more sleep or, reduce my stress or something like that. And maybe some supplements. I didn't know exactly, but those are kind of the things that I was expecting him to tell me. So he walks out of the doctor's office, and he comes to tell me something. And as he spoke to me, I was in complete shock from what he told me. It's completely surprised me. I wasn't thinking this would happen at all. And what he said was, he told me to get on a ketogenic diet. And when he told me that, I thought it was the craziest thing ever, because I've heard of a ketogenic diet before. And what I knew about it was the fact that you have to eat a lot of fat. And it just sounded like something that was really unhealthy. I was like, why would I eat so much fat? Like, why would I eat a bunch of fat? And then, and you're also supposed to cut carbs. And so I was looking at, he had this paper, and it showed, what to eat and what not to eat and these different things on it. And I was looking at it, and I was like, and I asked him, I said, I can't eat oatmeal in the morning, like for breakfast, like I usually do, because that's what I was doing every morning. I was eating like organic oatmeal and, with like blueberry. I was actually eating what most people would consider a healthy diet. I was eating, I had green drinks in my diet. Like I was drinking like wheatgrass, all this stuff, but I was still overweight. It didn't make any sense. And he told me, he goes, no, you can't have any oatmeal. And I'm like, dude, this is crazy. Like, this doesn't make any sense at all. Like, I can't have any oatmeal in the morning. Like, how is my body supposed to function properly? Like, how am I supposed to get energy, without carbohydrates? Aren't you supposed to need, so many carbohydrates through the day to, for your brain to function, for your body to function, all those things? It just made no sense to me. I was just like completely confused. I was like, I thought my doctor had lost his mind, and I thought that he went crazy. I was like, this is unreal. There's no way, it doesn't make any sense. And I was thinking about it, and I sat down, I was looking at the sheet that he gave me, I was looking at the diet that he gave me, and I thought about, all the different things that he's done for other people. This guy's actually worked with a lot of athletes, and he's worked with celebrities, he's worked with different people in the past. And I think of all the results that, a lot of these other people had, and I was thinking, this guy, he's actually a very smart guy, but what he just told me now, it doesn't seem to make any sense at all. But I was thinking about, I was like, what if he's right though? What I'm doing now is not working. I feel like crap right now. I'm tired all the time. I just want to just sleep all the time. I just don't feel good. And I'm gaining all this weight, and, I'm overweight and everything else. And so I was like, what? Maybe he's right. I never know. I could give it a try. I mean, I'll try it out for a week. And if it doesn't work for a week, I can always go back. And so that's basically what I did. I was like, I'm just going to give it a try for a week. And so I went to the house, and I started, cleaned out my fridge, started doing a lot of different things, and started eating these high-fat foods, which are actually pretty delicious foods. It wasn't bad at all. MCT oils and these different things that I was adding to my diet wasn't bad at all. And, started eating this way, eliminated all the carbohydrates. I took away the oatmeal in the morning like he said to do. And next thing you know, within 7 days, like, I started gaining more energy like pretty rapidly. Like within 7 days, I lost like 7 pounds, like around 7 pounds or so within 7 days. It was like a pound a day. And some of that's water weight. Some of the thing with the ketogenic diet, when you first get on it, you actually lose a little bit of water weight as well. And then you start losing more fat as time goes along. but my energy just went through the roof. It was pretty unbelievable. I just couldn't believe how I was starting to feel. It's just in a week. It was crazy. And so I actually, tested myself. They have the little ketone strips or whatever that you put some urine on there and you test it, and it'll turn like a color. It turns like pink or whatever, and it tells you if your body's in ketosis or whatever. So I'd try that strip out, and sure enough, my body was in ketosis, and I was like, wow, I feel so much better. Like I had so much more mental clarity, and I felt like stronger and everything else. And I just kept, as the weeks went by, I just kept losing more and more weight until I really got to a weight that I maintained, a healthy weight, which was really awesome, which was really great. And I actually got into like a Taekwondo class, and it was funny because I was in this Taekwondo class, and we're like in the middle of like breaking boards and doing all this stuff. We're like just, breaking boards and all this stuff. And as I was doing that, I was just, I couldn't believe it. I was thinking to myself, I was like, wow, like I'm actually running off of fat right now. I'm running off of like body fat right now. And I'm like actually powering through these boards and breaking this stuff, running off of fat. And it just seemed so unreal in my mind. I just couldn't believe it. I would never have thought in my life that you could have that kind of energy and that kind of power from fat. It was just unbelievable. So as time went on and I kept losing more and more weight, and I felt more and more energy and just felt better and better every single day, I came to 3 realizations. And these 3 things I want to share with you right now. The first thing that I want to share with you is the fact that what was going on is I was actually burning glycogen instead of fat, okay? And so you see this all the time. You see big people, overweight people, I was myself. They're at the gym and they're just sweating and they're working out, or they're running, they're jogging, they're doing all this exercise, and they do it, they might do it 5 days a week, and they're working really hard, they're working their butts off and, just really getting at it. But what's going on in their bodies is they're actually burning glycogen. They're never tapping in to the fat stores in their body. And when we're eating all these carbohydrates, what happens is the carbohydrates actually turn into glucose in our body, and the glucose gets stored in our muscle tissue as glycogen. And our body actually runs and uses that glycogen, and it uses that before it'll actually start using body fat. And so just by eating a small amount, even if you didn't have that many carbohydrates, just by eating that small amount, it would just take so much work and so much exercise to actually burn through all that glycogen before you actually start getting to fat. So that's what's going on with most people. They can't actually get to those fat stores. The fat stores that give you a lot of energy. When you get to those fat stores, you can't get to it because you're constantly burning glycogen instead. And so the second thing that I got here is that we're actually causing our body to store fat, okay? And I came to that realization that before I was causing my body to store fat, and the reason I was because, first thing in the morning, I would eat my oatmeal first thing in the morning. And then I would have snacks throughout the day. And it was usually like I would have a banana. I thought these things were healthy. They were fruits and stuff as well. I'd have a banana, I'd have this or that. But, what would happen is, banana would spike your blood sugar. Or it could be a piece of candy, whatever it is, just those snacks throughout the day just get your blood sugar up and down is what happens. So, we've been told that that's supposed to maintain our blood sugar and keep it level by having a snack here and there. But what happens is those snacks spike your blood sugar up and down. And each one of those spikes causes your body to release insulin. And what happens is you might have those insulin releases, 5, 6, 7 times a day. Each time that you snack on something, you're having this insulin release, and the more insulin releases that you have, and the higher the higher amount of blood sugar that you have in your blood that's producing more insulin each time, the bigger insulin spike that you have each time. What that does is that actually programs and causes your body to actually start storing fat. Okay, so that's actually what happens. So the diet that I went on, doing the ketogenic diet correctly, what that causes is that causes these insulin spikes to almost be none at all, because you're not spiking. What happens when you're eating fat doesn't cause an insulin response like sugar does. Fat causes the least insulin response at all, so it's very, 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 very low amount of of response when it comes to the fats. Protein could cause insulin response too, and carbohydrates, but carbohydrates is what's going to cause the biggest insulin response, which is going to cause your body to store the most amount of fats. So that's why it made so much sense to start running off of fat, because of the fact that you're not causing those insulin spikes and you're not actually causing your body to store fat anymore. Your body will start tapping into the fat stores and start using that fat, and you're not actually going to store it and keep gaining weight and so forth. So the third thing that I realized is that on a ketogenic diet, when it's done right, when it's done properly, you can actually eat really satisfying meals and lose weight, and you don't have any cravings, because when you're eating these high-fat foods and you have olives and you can have bacon and you can have butter and you can have these high-fat foods built into your meals, like what happens is you get into a state of ketosis and you're not hungry all the time because your blood sugar is normalized all the time. So the hunger just naturally goes away. Your energy gets higher, your energy gets better, but you don't have those cravings anymore. You don't have any of that stuff anymore that you had before, when you're constantly wanting to snack, constantly want to eat on something, because that carbohydrate, those carbohydrates, it just causes this up and down with your blood sugar levels. It causes that body to start storing fat. But with the ketogenic diet, you eat these satisfying meals, you're full, you feel good, and you have plenty of energy, and you're completely satisfied. And it's something that's long lasting. It's something you can do for the rest of your life. This is not a fad diet. This is not one of these, diets that people do for a few weeks and then that's it. It's something you can do for the rest of your life, and that it's easy to do for the rest of your life because you're going to enjoy it. You're going to enjoy the foods, and it's great. So it's something that really benefited me, and that's something that will benefit you, is the fact that you're going to be able to eat all these satisfying, delicious meals and be able to lose weight without the cravings.